Hello and welcome to another King of Catan stream. We are here today with the final week of the Premier League Season 8. We have the semi-finals today and next week on Sunday the finals. And with me today is Raymond, the winner of the regular Premier League season.
Yeah, hi everybody. Good to be here.
So the game is about to start. Let's check. Yeah, Raymond, let's talk about a bit yourself and then maybe about the players. You finished the last two seasons of the Premier League at the number 1 spot, so you're really owning the league. What do you think about the success so far? And I also wanted to ask you, how long are you in the league actually?
Yeah, so I think this is my 4th season in the Premier League. The first one, that was before PCL was a thing, and then I didn't do so good in the first season. I think I was 1 win out of 8. And then, yeah, qualified barely the Premier League 2 seasons ago. And yeah, I think a lot of it is it's so few games, right? It's like 6 games per season, so it's small sample sizes, and yeah, I don't expect to keep running this hot, but hopefully the luck continues for one more game.
Yeah, that would
Yeah.
be cool. Are you playing in any other Catan leagues currently, or what are your plans for the near future?
Yeah, I do play on most of the servers, so Catan Championship, I try to get enough games in every season to qualify for the playoffs there.
There's a playoff currently ongoing, right? Or is
yeah,
that...
yeah. So actually, EBOX, who's playing in our game today, he's qualified for the Catan Championship final this season. So that's, yeah, he's really running hot right now. Yeah, a lot of the people in PL and PCL actually play in Catan Championship, like for example Sushant, who's playing in the game today also.
Yeah.
I saw he's been getting a lot of games in there the last few days. I think he's practicing for today. Yeah.
Okay. There's a lot to talk about, really, about the different leagues, but I think the game is about to start.
Let's get it.
I haven't been able to get in.
Looks like it just started.
Okay. So I'm in the game now. You as well, Raymond?
Yeah, I see it. Nekthen is first to pick.
Yeah, our players first pick Nekthen. He finished 6th. Yeah, he's a old school King of Catan player, and he goes for the ore cheap. For the ore and wheat, best wheat I should say. What do you think about first pick here?
It's not the best board for first. I think usually as first you want some monster spot, like 12 or 13 dots of production with some ore wheat cheap. I think 10 dots is not, you don't love it for first, so he's going to have a bit of a tougher time this game.
Yeah, I agree. Also the board looks pretty balanced. Good spots for every resource, really.
Yep.
Maybe only one good wood spot, but that's not terribly important. We will see, I guess.
Yeah,
but I agree that's a bit tough for first pick here.
Yeah. But he should get himself some sheep on the way back, probably, so there'll be some weakish or wheat sheep setup, but still playable.
Yeah, Sushant takes the mirrored spot almost. Wheat ore and the wood.
Yeah.
Even better production, but no ports. So how do you think this will go down between third and fourth player now?
Yeah, I think EBOX will probably take the 6-4-11 because he won't get ore otherwise. I know the 6 wood is very tempting in the 6-9-3 because it's such a rare resource, but I know EBOX likes his development cards, but we'll see.
Yeah, the ore spot is definitely tempting. Yeah, there's only one good wheat spot left as well, and you mentioned the wood spot, which is probably more for the fourth player. I think fourth player has a few options here.
Yeah, I think there's no ore left. He might have to go for a road setup. So I don't know if you're familiar with Dandy Drew. He's quite an accomplished player. He's been championing the side-by-side setups recently, doing very well with those. That's where you pick your starting settlements right next to each other, and then you have your own edge of the map, and you don't get blocked as much. So if he's the only person on the 6 on 6-9-3, that probably is not getting solo blocked. Should be a fun setup for fourth, actually.
Yeah, I know Aesin lost his 2-for-1 ports, so maybe he will do something about the sheep pot. I mean, 5-9-10 at the bottom also looks pretty good, I have to say.
Oh, for sure. He said there's not that much wheat left, but yeah, I wonder if they're maybe working out some sort of deal here. You know, EBOX, he's always trying to get every edge he can and secure a deal before placing.
And I find he really picks it up in these final games. He's a lot more involved and talks a lot more.
Yeah, that's interesting. I think some people are really able to, up their game and perform better in these high pressure situations. And there's something to be said for not treating it like every other game.
So he goes for the coast with the road. Makes sense, although I like the brick pot on this board.
Yeah, you'd think you might get a brick spot on the way back, but it would just be one tile, so maybe he thinks he'd rather have 2 settlement spots.
Yeah.
Also, Nekthen is probably going to go for the 8th 3-1, so make it the 3-1 port.
He can probably work something out. So this will be very decisive, I think. Aesin's picks here. How much space does he leave on the board? I mean, it's a bit of a pressure to take 5-9-10, right? Because that's a huge spot for EBOX.
I think so too. Yeah. So 6-9-3 at the top because you need some wood. He doesn't have ore, so he needs road materials.
Yeah. He could take 4-5-10 maybe. Although that could be risky.
Yeah. I guess he needs to know that if he goes 4, 5, 10 and points to the 3-1, he's got to hope that Nekthen not going to take that as last pick. So you need to leave something open for him.
Yeah, both of them actually. I mean, you have if you do that, you have 3, 4, 8 and 4, 9, 11. Then you have the 5, 10 with the wood board. That's probably what Nekthen was thinking when he placed first.
Yeah. I think so. 5, 10 for Nekthen. It has some connection upside because he goes to 8, 10, then the 3-1. It's kind of good in that regard, but it's pretty low production, just 17 starting dots. He's gonna have to spend quite a bit of time sitting up first, and
yeah, comes down to his first pick, which was only 10 points, but there was really not a lot out there.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, he goes all in on the sheeps.
Maybe he worked out a deal with EBOX for the sheep port, because this is... Wow.
Yeah. So he monopolizes the sheep, really. Which is a big plus of the setup, of course. But you pretty much want the sheep port with this.
Yeah, I think the sheep port is really going to make or break his game here. If he doesn't get it, he's got pretty much no chance. But if he does, I mean, watch out.
Yeah. He also went the Dandy Drew route, leaving no space between his settlements, so he can connect.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, I think leaving the 6 wood open, and I don't know if he's going to have that much wood for roads, but if he has the port, he can probably manufacture anything he wants.
Yeah. And he will double up on the 3 wood at least.
Right.
So if the 3s roll a bit later in the game, it's fine. Yeah, but it will be really interesting to see if they work something out, and even if they don't, I think EBOX will just manufacture a deal for the spot. It's not like he wants it really.
Yeah,
but I guess he
not
wants
getting any sheep.
Compensation for leaving that great spot open for Aesin.
Yeah. I'd imagine Aesin probably discussed this with him before making his 2 picks, because yeah, it would be quite a risky play otherwise.
Yeah.
But I really like EBOX's position just because he has rare resources to trade. The 6, I mean, it looks a little uncoordinated because you're getting wood and ore at the same time, but I think the wood is going to be pretty tradable almost, so he's not worried about that.
Yeah. It would be great to have another good expansion spot.
Oh.
Yeah. Sushant goes for the Orbi cheap. Makes sense, kinda. I think it was between 810 and 410 and 510 maybe.
Yeah.
I kinda like the 510 a bit better maybe. I'm not sure. What do you think about this pick?
It makes sense. I think he's thinking, I have the strongest ore, or strongest ore tile, I have the good wheat, now he just needs sheep, and he's going to be buying dev cards, I think, all game. Yeah, I think 510, like you said, or 4911 also has connection upside and no port, but I think in these kind of voice chat games, you don't need ports as much because there's more deals going through. You can
Yeah,
try to trade for things.
it's
But
important for the late game maybe.
yeah,
Yeah, and it's really good for Nekthen here. 4911 is a great spot for him, I think. There's a lot of expansion potential around the desert. And we will see if they fight over the 311.
yeah,
Because Sushant is pretty boxed in here.
it'll be hard for Sushant because he doesn't start with a road, unlike Nekthen. Also, he doesn't make brick, but there's always trade possibilities or an early 7.
Yeah. And what would you do in Nekthen's position? Where would you go first here?
Oh, I think with the robber, that's the right block. I think you always want to try to get some value out of your 7s. So, oh wow, okay. Yeah, I guess he's thinking I need to city up quick, and doubling the ores the best way to do that.
Yeah, also like doubling up on the rare ore better than on the sheep, on the wheat. Yeah, and he makes his intentions clear, and maybe he puts EBOX in a position where he thinks it's not worth the fight over the spot.
Yeah, I think EBOX has the 3-1 up top. He doubling up that 6 is good because, like we said, it's probably not getting blocked unless he's pretty far ahead, and can kind of start his road network up top. You can go to 6-2 later, so 5-2. Get to the ore port at the end. That would be a nice little boost.
Yeah, and EBOX robs Nekthen back with the second 7 of the game.
Yeah.
So what do you think about the opening setups? Which one would you like the best here, if you were playing?
Yeah, it's tough to say. I think EBOX has 21 total dots of production. It's rare resources, and I think, yeah, his setup is probably the best, but it's not the best by a lot. Sushant and Nekthen setups are playable too, so it'd be a close one. I wonder if EBOX's brick was stolen at the start because he didn't drop a road quite yet. So usually you don't like to hold on to your roads because they can get broken up.
Interesting block on the 11 wood here. Maybe we'll see a trade now between EBOX and Aesin.
Yeah, you don't block a 2-dot spot otherwise. Yeah, there you go. You called it.
Yeah, and it's a good trade for both of them. I think EBOX will love every wheat he gets. And
Yeah.
And I assume now that there's a deal for the sheep pot.
For sure. I mean, that's the first
Knowing
thing you
these
would ask
players
for.
and yeah, Sushant just collecting some cards. He sits on a lot of sheep.
Tried trading for brick there, so I guess he wants to secure one settlement spot, otherwise he might get boxed in, like you said.
Yeah, and even with 3 settlements, you rely on getting army and or a few victory points. So 2 sixes in a row. Sushant, he has wheat. Looking for another one.
Yeah, that's a big city.
Yeah. Maybe even the best spot on the board, production-wise and resource-wise. Which means we should also get attention from the robber, but we will see now.
Yeah, that's an unfortunate 7 there for EBOX. He was gonna have
Yeah, his number
big
rolls
turn.
twice and then a big 6 and then he 7's out. He even had to drop a sheep, which he doesn't produce. So he's probably also holding a city here.
Yeah, drops a road. He kept the wheat, so he's got wood or wheat.
Yeah, I didn't realize he got so many sheeps. Maybe he stole them all. There was no trade, right? First 9 of the game, I think.
Yeah, that's
Aesin must
big.
be close to settling. And now the 7.
The 8 sheep looks like the obvious block, but he's probably trying to extort some sort of value out of the 7. He's falling a little bit behind.
Yeah, it seems also a good time for extortion because he probably wants to rob it on the 5 wheat and the other spots are not that great for him to block. Goes for Aesin here. Maybe to break up his settlement. Not entirely sure if he has the necessary wood, but they traded once.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe he's still missing one.
It's a lot of 7s to start, I think. Yeah. It's probably getting pretty tense in there. Games that start with 7s can get combative.
Yeah, people won't make too much progress and it gets a bit nerve-wracking. There was a trade going down, wheat for wood, but not sure. Another 7 out for EBOX, yeah. Pretty harsh.
That's 2 wheat in EBOX's hand, I guess. He wants the city first. He feels like I'll get the port later. Yep. The big city for sure.
Yeah, gets the steal.
It's funny, he's 7'd out twice, he lost 8 cards, and he's still in the best spot with a city, a dev card, and a settlement spot.
Aesin with a 4-for-1 to settle. Pretty expensive. But now this game is online as well.
You hate to see that with, I guess, the 5 was blocked and didn't roll for him.
He suffers from Sushant's city here. Robber will move a lot to the 5 wheat and...
Yeah, I guess Sushant is kind of hurting him on the 8 also. collateral.
He probably didn't want someone on the A10. But it was always a strong possibility, I think.
Yeah, he knew that. But it does feel like Sushant's game is kind of slowed down. He wasn't able to buy a dev card after the city. And I think that's what he wants to do now, is buy 3 to 4 dev cards. I don't think citying up the 810 is going to be fast enough.
Yeah, unless you get some trades here, I think it's dev cards for a while. Nekthen also settles now. I would have expected that way sooner. But he's still on 7 cards, so maybe he can do something else. He should have good amount of ore and wheat.
He's a little bit short of a city.
Yeah, I think he's missing 1 or 2 ores at least.
Oh, interesting. What do you think about that, going to 9-2 instead of 11-3? They both comparable spots, I suppose.
Yeah. I think I like a 311 a bit better. Unless you make some great deal for it. I think it gives you a bit more road potential.
Yeah. I think once you go to 9-2, there's quite a lot of options. You could go to 5-10, you could go to 6-2, so the road is still there. It's just the wood might be a bit slower, but we'll see.
Yeah, and it's also nice to double up on the brick, really.
Yep. And the tube, the big tube.
Sushant got his first wood roll, and now he's looking for bricks.
Yep.
He has no wheat, so still stuck without a trade here. And he gets one.
Yeah, I wonder if before, with one of those 7s, if Sushant was able to secure the 11-3 spot by not blocking Ken.
Yep.
That would make sense. Wow. EBOX buys 2 dev cards, he's up to 3. I guess he rightly predicted he would have no problem getting sheep this game.
Yeah. Especially with Sushant going to the 8-10. I mean, he also had a few 7s. I expect he picked out a few sheep there.
Yeah. And it looked like his first dev was not a knight, so he's got 1 non-knight and 2 fresh dev cards.
Yeah, he looks way in the lead now, I have to say.
Yeah.
Nekthen with the city. Pretty huge one. He has that beautiful 8 wheat, which nobody would block, I think.
Yep,
in the future.
He's got the 8 wheat, 3-1. I think, yeah, if he can get 9-2 and then 5-10, that's a pretty locked in road network. You can continue it by going to 8-10 after that, making this kind of big loop.
Yeah. Sushant with a big 7 here, and he goes for the 4 sheep. Not blocking EBOX here.
Yeah, it's one of those things where EBOX probably said, I have a knight and we can not block each other. Otherwise you'd want to see him play a dove card.
Yeah, it doesn't seem there was a trade arranged. Because Sushant needs to make something happen here. I think his hand is stuck, he's on 7 cards. And someone needs to buy dev cards.
Yeah.
Wow. 3 sheep for a brick. So no dev cards.
I guess he's thinking he wants to focus on the settle first, but
yeah.
if he doesn't start fighting for army fast enough, yeah, it might be a little too slow. I don't know what the extra wood really does for him. It's a free card on an 11, I guess.
Yeah, he feels probably some pressure to get a spot here, because Aesin is also closing down on the 8 sheep.
Yeah, exactly.
We don't know if there's a deal in place for the 11-3.
I think.
Yeah, but they're venturing in dangerous territory, I think, by not blocking EBOX here. He didn't play a dev card, so...
Yeah, you have to imagine he's sitting on 1 knight, and if he's not, then the block is even more justified. This could be at 6 or 5 in a motto, you know.
Yeah. 11.
Ouch.
Probably great for EBOX. Although wood is also a great roll. Aesin put down his 4th settlement with 2 for 1s. So that was kinda expensive. They're still waiting for the 5 wheat to roll, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we will see if Sushant now tries to go for EBOX here.
4 ore is looking like the easy block, but
yeah.
it's the same situation as last orbit.
Yeah. I mean, at some point you have to force EBOX to play his dev cards.
Yeah. Ken isn't doing so bad either. If he can get a 4 and an 8 and put up another city, suddenly a road machine.
Probably wants to get a wheat now from EBOX. That's probably the one thing that is missing for his settlement. Wow.
Yep. You called that.
Trade here. Yeah.
So that's an interesting approach. He went with the guaranteed wheat with the trade. I think I'm not sure, but your style would be like, no, just come rob me, I think. Or what would you do in that situation?
Yeah, if I was EBOX, I would definitely trade the wheat to not get blocked here. If I was Sushant, yeah, it's tough. You definitely want to get a wheat here.
Yeah.
But it's really dangerous. We will see.
Another big 6.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess it's tough for us to say. Maybe EBOX told them what his devs are and they're not too concerned. He has been known to do that, I think I played in a game with him once where he just straight up told everyone he had a monopoly.
I'm not sure what you can tell people here, which dev cards are not worrisome.
Yes, 1 VP, 2 knights. I mean, that's still pretty scary. Maybe it's 3 knights. No, we know it's 1 non-knight, I guess.
So EBOX is trying to get trades here. Would you trade with EBOX at this point?
It would have to be really good. I think the one thing he's missing now is that port. Once he has a port, he doesn't need any help anymore. Probably stuck with 8 cards, so to be like a 3-to-1 trade, probably. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, if it's a good trade, there's always a possibility. You're getting in a territory where I would be a bit reluctant to trade him cheap, because he already has these 3 dev cards. Now a 4th one.
Yeah.
And really that's a long way. Another 11.
That's big for Sushant. He finally get his dev game going.
I mean, if they think EBOX is the lead and Sushant can get trades here, he has more dev card potential, a bit more.
Yeah, I think it's an interesting moment here. If EBOX has 3 knights, it might be time to use one. Do you want to start getting the army pacing down? But
yeah,
maybe
there's certainly now a point where he should do something with the dev card, if he can. I mean, if it's all VPs and monos, then maybe not, but
yeah, it's you'd have to think there's 1 knight in there because he's not getting blocked, and probably told them about one of the knights. But yeah, I think if it's a couple of VPs, then he's feeling great right now. He just needs to settle city, and he's got a knight to defend himself.
Also the 5 wheat block is so strong. It really slows down 2 players so much.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he's in an awkward spot right now. The others all have their spots, they have their ports, they have their cities. They're really ready to pump out devs or do whatever they want.
I think he's gonna get some sort of sheep from Aesin here. Otherwise, blocking the 5 made a bit more sense, I think. Nope. Maybe there was a non-block ode.
Yeah, something like that. I'm not sure if he's afraid of the 11 wood. So Aesin, pretty quiet, quietly expanding. He probably... Do you think he's working on a city, thinking city right now?
Yeah, I think that's what he has to do. He's got a city up, one of those 11 or 10 dot spots, and then he's probably doing like a road build to 10 type setup. He's buying devs at this point. Feels a little like if you pull some knights, well, what are you gonna do there?
Yeah. think the 8 hasn't been great so far. That's my impression at least.
Yeah,
6
that
way
hasn't
better.
rolled. The 9 was slow for him too. Wow. Big trade there.
Yeah, I hope that's a city. Otherwise that seems a bit strange. Where do you city though?
Yeah, I think. I mean, it makes sense. It's the better producing spot. He's doubling up his brick. I don't think it's. If you triple up on the 8, maybe that gets blocked. I think this makes sense now. He's doubled up on everything except the 4.
Yeah, it's a nice balance, and as you said, doubling, going so heavy on the 8 also has some risks.
But yeah, I think that trade by EBOX giving him the city shows why he's such a good player. He knows, he can kind of tell how far everybody is away from winning, and he thinks, I need my cards right now. I'm getting blocked. Getting 2 cards, even though he's giving up the city, is probably worth it for him.
Yeah, I think in his position it would be already hard to get any trades on his turn, for example. So if there's an opportunity, I think the trade made a lot of sense for both of them.
Yeah.
So EBOX with the knight, but then he rolls the 7. Probably not too happy about that.
Yeah, he would have liked to keep the 5 blocked, but still getting 2 cards. Probably, hopefully, buy another dev here or settle.
Yeah, depends if Sushant stole something valuable from him.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we can learn some Catan here, I think, how EBOX handles this situation. He's at a kind of a difficult crossroads, I think. I think he's the perceived leader, but the others have a bit more production and are set up on their ports.
Yeah, for sure. I think he's in a tough spot because he needs to decide if he's committing to the army race. He looks like he is committed, but Sushant that's his only win condition, so he's going to be fighting him like crazy. And if Sushant shows another knight here, probably the other players will help him buy more dev cards and keep fighting EBOX for army. So without a port and without help, it's looking tough. Or still like his position though.
Yeah. I've been paying attention. He bought a dev card on his turn. EBOX did. No, did nothing.
Yeah, he passed on 6 cards. You don't love doing, but I think without a port, there's not a lot of options.
So Nekthen giving away ore. That tells me we don't.
Wow. That's a big block.
Yeah. So the knights are flying now.
Yeah,
Sushant was able to buy another death card.
They need to be careful just about road, maybe? There's a road building in there. That would be a big problem.
Yeah, I mean with Sushant leaving Sushant D311, they gave him some road potential really. If he has
Yeah,
mono
but
or something, he's getting a lot of wood now.
I think EBOX too, if he has a road builder next turn, could be a quick game. VP road builder maybe?
Yep. That's so often the problem, right? That you have to build this road network so quickly to be sure that the army players or the DevCut players don't empty game early.
Yeah, exactly. Look at that, he 4-for-1s for a wheat and buys another dev that kind of says maybe he didn't have a knight, he has 2 non-knights and he had to buy another dev here to keep up the pacing.
Yeah. I mean he had to play the knight and his hand would probably have been stuck otherwise, so
yeah. But I think a lot of people would have prioritized getting a settlement there, but he understands, you know, if I can just get to maybe 5 knights played, might be good enough. Trying to hold on to army at all costs.
Now he hit the 4-for-1 and gets robbed a few times.
Wow.
Yeah, and if the two road players get a bit more time to lay their road network down, I think they're looking pretty good because they're not getting blocked.
Yeah, I think both Aesin and Nekthen are very happy that there've been 7 knights played already. It could have been a lot worse for them with what the other two ended up buying.
That also makes the DevCut deck a bit more interesting maybe for them.
Yeah, I think if a few more knights are played, you start thinking, okay, there's only good things left in there.
So EBOX decided to go for the sheep here instead of the 5 wheat. And I don't expect he will be able to do something here.
Yeah, he saw that coming. I think he's starting to worry about Aesin too.
Yeah. I mean, but that would still make the 5 wheat a good block. He's right on time to block an 8, which didn't happen too much, I think. Nekthen now with a really tough 7 here.
Yeah, I think he's gotten quite unfortunate with the 4s. He was hoping for a few more of those.
Yeah. Oh, that's tough. Dropping a road and 2 wheat. What do you think is Aesin's road about there at the 9 brick? Do you think he just wants to open up the next spot?
Yeah, I think it's kind of multi-purpose. It was good play by him. He's getting a bit closer to road, so if they need to take road in a pinch because someone else is close, he can do that. Reduced his hand size, so if he had the settle, I imagine he would have settled, but it makes sense.
Yeah, he has 10 cards now, He wrote the 4, which is also huge for Nekthen.
Yeah.
You should be able to settle here, right?
Yeah, settle
Okay,
or
that's
city.
the death card. I mean, settling is... I kinda agree. Settlement on the wheat port is not that important right now, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, Nekthen gets the city down with the 4, and yeah, if he takes road.
I think, yeah, I mean, you called it. The road guys are both looking strong right now. Aesin, if that's a VP, which it very well could be, one more road is he's at 8 and he's got 2 settlement spots. So
Yeah.
if he needs the perfect 10 cards, which probably doesn't have, but he's got chances now.
It's looking rough for EBOX here. He spent a lot of his dev cards. He has the army now. Looks pretty behind in production. Doesn't have the port up still. And he's still kind of dependent on trades for sheep.
Yeah.
Which will be harder and harder now, the longer the game progresses.
Wondering. You wonder if he's got a monopoly in there. He was hoping to make like a sneak road play for the win, but that window's gonna close soon.
Yeah, I think he needs a mono here to dig him out of that production hole. So we will see. Will we see a death card here?
The way he's played this is a little characteristic of a mono because, if you do have a mono, you can kind of go into that army fight feeling like I'll get my production up later. But he bought 4 dev cards at the start instead of trying to city up 693 or settling, so it's very possible he has one.
He's taking his time. There's a bit of wheat out there, and he's probably looking for wheat.
Yeah.
But still, I'm not sure how much he can do with 5 or 6 wheats here. Trying to get a trade.
I think if he has 2 VPs and he tells Aesin that, then trading with him makes sense. You put him on 8.
I mean, I would have no problem trading with EBOX now. It's a bit of a problem for EBOX, I think, because he's now the one who doesn't want to trade really with the players that are kinda ahead of him.
Yeah, and they gave Sushant a 1-for-1 to buy a knight last turn. He's chasing his army down, so it's a tough 7 there.
Yeah. Good for the other players. Aesin has this one dev card bought last turn we know nothing about.
Yeah, I think we gotta block Nekthen here. Yeah. Got 2 cities and the best road setup.
Yeah.
Or I guess comparable. He's his road competitor.
If a 4 rolls unblocked, that is very, very huge. And he has the road dangling there at the 510. So he still has to be afraid of Sushant getting a road building or something.
Yep.
Would the table help Sushant get to 5-10 with the road building? I think so.
Yeah, for sure. But I wonder if Sushant should do that just because it kind of stops the road fight and then Aesin is uncontested. But on the other hand, he doesn't have any other settlement spots he can get to with one road, or just with the road building, so
Yeah. So the
kind of
forward
has
is
to.
Nekthen passes. Yeah, Sushant only 4 cards. Will we see a death card here?
I think if he had one, definitely. Well, maybe he's trying to buy another knight first, and then if he has a knight, he'll play it. But
Yeah, it looks like he's looking for another death card with the trade here.
yeah, I think Aesin and Nekthen, I think they're okay not taking road quite yet, even if EBOX has a mono and a VP that's like 8 with road. It's tough to imagine the settle road or city. I don't think there's enough cards out there for him. So it makes sense. They can leave it for one more turn. Yeah, he's trying real hard for a dev here.
Yeah, probably talking a lot to the other players.
Wow. And it goes
Probably
through.
has to reveal his death cards, right?
Yeah.
Probably must have told them what he...
Wow. And that's a big roll because all of a sudden there's quite a lot of bricks out there.
Yeah.
Brick
Also the
mono
wheat
here.
is not too bad, I think.
Yeah. Honestly, if he doesn't have mono, maybe you just keep buying devs here.
Yeah.
Yeah. What he's angling for.
Yeah, the sheep, they are really getting a problem now. He needs them to settle, he needs them to buy devs. It's also hard to mono for them, if he has one.
Yeah.
Because you want to mono for wheat mode. At least that would hurt the other players more. And he has no wheat as well, I would assume.
I think it's tough to trade here. If he has to 4-1 or if he's stuck, that's great. But I don't think. I mean, he's at 7 and you give him a setup. Like, there's no need to do that. Unless he's giving away good deals again.
Yeah. And if he's not playing a death card, I'm concerned. Trading him. Yeah. 10 seconds left on his turn. Time to decide what to do.
Wow. A 1-for-1. That's yeah, but we don't know what they're talking about.
Yeah.
He's probably reassured them he doesn't have a mono. He just wants a knight to keep army. But maybe now he did buy a mono.
Yeah, that's the thing. You want them to buy knights, but they could buy other stuff. It looks like they have plenty of other stuff already in their hand.
Yeah. On the other hand, Aesin probably ensured himself another dev here. He's thinking there's good stuff left in it. Oh no. That's too bad.
Yeah, looks like EBOX timed out here, right? And 3 players, 7 out.
Wow. This is really unfortunate for, I guess, for all of them, but discarded 8 bricks in total.
Yeah. So that was almost the entirety of the brick roll.
Wow. And he stole from Sushant there, so I think.
Do you think he will move it, or what's the point of putting it on the 3 wood?
You gotta think there's some non-block ode, maybe?
Yeah, for sure, but still, there are better spots to block than the 3 wood, right?
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
tough
maybe
to
he
say.
thinks that's the roll he gets wood on, and then he will get ahead on the roads.
Right. He's kind of like, the only way I win is if the 3's blocked and the 3 rolls.
And it looks like he's looking for a city here. Another trade between those two. Maybe this was part of the 7?
Yeah, you wonder why the 3 over the 11. I mean, he gave a good reason also. Maybe he wants Sushant to have that free card to keep buying devs.
Yeah, he 7's out and still gets the city down, which is pretty good, I'd say. Still don't know his death card.
Nice to go to 0 cards.
Mm.
Oh, and maybe Sushant said I have a knight, so I'll move it regardless. So he didn't care where he blocked, type of thing.
Yeah, I mean there was still a roll between them, but I think he could have safely assumed that Sushant would play knight here. And I don't get why Aesin is not blocked here. They need to know what his death card is. Maybe they already do.
That's tough to block him because he has no cards, so it's kind of like 3 maybe.
That's true.
But I think they're probably thinking, okay, if he's not going to win on this turn, we can help Nekthen get road. And Sushant wants to keep fighting for army, so gotta block Eric. Show another knight.
I mean, as long as EBOX has army, it's still scary. Although it seems to me that they know a lot about his deaths, because there were a lot of trades going down.
Yeah.
Another death for Sushant. Another knight by EBOX. So we're up to 9 knights now.
Yeah.
5 knights is almost always enough to secure army, but in this case you might need 6 or even 7.
None of the action dev cards have been played.
Mm.
No Monopoly, no Road Builder, no. Yeah. You gotta think Aesin is a road settle away, but on the other hand, he won't get it this turn. Maybe Ken takes road and you still block Sushant just to keep army at bay.
Yeah, but it really gets hard now to stop Aesin from really hard stop him from doing anything.
A huge 11 for him. Thing is, Aesin might not really need road. He's got the settlement spots.
Yeah.
Wow, another trade.
You can easily buy depths, I think. So the port finally goes down. Nice block on the 4.
Oh no.
Ah, that's rough. It's 2 times in a row. Is that correct?
Yeah, you feel bad for him.
So Aesin didn't move the robber?
Nope. Can safely assume VP or non-knight dev.
Yeah. I don't see really any reason, if he has a knight, why not play it there?
Yeah, kind of would make the other players be a little less afraid, but
Yeah.
he had a road builder. I probably wouldn't save that either. I mean, people know you're going for road. You should get it before somebody else wins.
Still nobody has taken the road. We talked about it like half an hour ago. It's getting dangerous.
Yeah, because now, EBOX with a monopoly needs triple road settle. It's probably still hard to imagine that happening, even with a 9.
Yeah.
Might have the wood like a 6 and then a 9, and then
He gets so
has the
fucked
port
again.
now. Yeah.
Maybe it gets moved.
I think if he does have another knight, that's tough luck with by so many devs and pulls that many knights.
You talking about EBOX?
Yeah, but the way he was playing it, it seemed like he was
Mm.
trying pretty hard for a dev. Like he has probably 2 non-knights.
Yeah, but what do we expect a dev here from Sushant? It seemed to me like the 11 wheat would be his go-to block. That would open an opportunity to play something else.
He rolled a 7, blocked the 11, buys another. Yeah, it's interesting. So he had 3 non-knights. Because if you have a knight, you gotta play it to keep up pacing. Not sure.
Yeah, if you want somebody to have VPs, it's probably Sushant at the moment.
Yeah, in a year of landings.
So that's a
Wow.
new dev. Yeah. He goes really hard.
Expensive dev card, but it makes sense. He understands the game isn't going to go on for too much longer, and he needs to get army within the next 3 turns.
Yeah. So the 8, that's the number of the road players. Can EBOX, if he has the mono, make something happen here?
I
It's
don't
tough,
think
right?
so. There's triple question marks on all the cards, so less than 6 of anything. You think the fact that he's thinking here tells us anything? Like, it's not 2 VPs? Or maybe he's
With
trying
EBOX,
to
I'm not sure. He likes to
trying to
take his time.
yeah. I wonder if he's trying to talk them into helping him buy another dev. Like one of those I'll tell you what it is situations. So
But who do you talk here really to really? It's really hard to give Aesin a trade here.
yeah,
With Nekthen, it's also kind of difficult because he's so huge on the 4.
I think they've given up blocking the 4. They're just saying, okay, if it rolls, we're gonna lose. But
yeah, he's
keep
using
that.
his whole turn. Almost. Another 8. Oof. Aesin could be really close here. He got a wood trade. So a settle should be at least possible. Not sure if it's enough for a road as well. Probably not.
I think if he just needs road settle to win, I wonder if you take the road now, because the other players might not have the road stuff to help Ken, and Ken goes right after him.
Yeah.
Could make sense to take the road. Because now if Ken builds a single road, you need 2 roads. A little harder.
I agree. Yeah, still. The pressure is on now for the road. Not sure if there's any brick in the game.
I think for Ken, do you build the roads to just connect as fast as possible and then try to city for the win or pull, or do you think building the road through like kind of a slightly longer way, like to open up a settlement spot, if that makes more sense?
I think I will go for connecting here. I think
Yeah.
city would be easier than putting a settlement down. And you can still go to A10 once you build 2 roads. It's a bit longer, but still. Yeah, but it's hard now.
Yeah.
He needs to put down 2 roads, right? Otherwise, Aesin has a huge opportunity to win. He already has the wood
Yeah.
roll.
2 wood, yeah. I mean, honestly, if Aesin, 2 roads might not even do it if Aesin can connect up top with 3.
Yeah. You still need to avoid like the 9, obviously, and 2 sheep rolls would also do it. Yeah, but I don't think they can make 3 roads here. And time is running out as well.
Trying to trade for bricks. Those haven't rolled in a long time. They discarded so many that one turn.
Yeah.
Wow, and he doesn't even take road. And we talked about it, we keep talking about it, but looks like the window's opening up for that EBOX mono for the win here. He has it. The road is still there.
Yeah, but getting the settlement down as well.
Yeah,
Still
maybe.
tough.
You might have enough to pull and take road or something.
Maybe Sushant is thinking about mono here as well.
Yeah.
If they don't take a card out of Aesin's hand, there's a strong possibility that he will win.
Just needs 1 road, yeah. Guess if Sushant has a road builder, maybe they'll help him do like the full connect, kind of cut off Aesin's 2 road paths.
A desperation move would be to mono wood here.
And he does it. I think it's pretty strong. That's
Yeah.
on the other hand, if he doesn't use it to take road, not sure it matters too much, but yeah, he's just hoping Aesin doesn't have a road.
Yeah, he's also counting probably on EBOX doing something about Aesin on his turn. With a knight maybe.
Yeah, but that 8, I mean, he's got
Yeah.
5 sheep now. Yeah.
Yeah, I expect that he had a sheep left. It also seems to me that EBOX didn't have a knight. Don't see a reason why
Yeah.
he wouldn't play it before rolling.
That makes sense. We're thinking 2 VPs or VP action card, and that's just, it's not enough because he can't take road. So unless Aesin also doesn't have a VP, this might be it.
Yeah. We were talking about his mono a lot, but this would be a very desperate mono again.
Gotta take the sheep out of his hand. There's,
Yeah.
well, we did
I
say
mean, it's not too
he
bad
might.
he has the board now, but still, he might
Yeah.
get one death card out of it, and probably has to 3-for-1 the sheep away.
Yeah. There's no options. If you have the mana, you mono sheep, you buy a dev, and you. Otherwise, he could be trying to talk them into, if he doesn't have 2 VPs, into helping him take road temporarily and kind of buy himself a turn, right? Because if Ken can't build 2 roads, it opens up a little window there. But
Time is running out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Unfortunate. And there it is. Wow.
That's an easy road.
Yeah. Very well played by Aesin. We were kind of counting him out at the beginning, but makes a big comeback.
Yeah, he was very shrewd about his trades in the mid game. It was impressive how he got the second city down.
Yep.
Also, maybe a bit lucky pulling one death and getting the VP when it counted.
Yeah, but it's also smart because he saw how many knights were pulled and decided to buy one. All the credit there.
Made totally sense that he goes for death card at that stage. So you can expect to
And
get
he also
something good there.
stayed under the radar too. Only got blocked or robbed 2 times while everyone else was 7-7-10. So really paced himself really well.
Yeah, and in the end he rolled in the most resources.
Yeah. That's the thing about these port setups, is they're very slow to get going, and you're kind of porting 2-for-1, so it's inefficient. Or you'd rather not have to port, but once you get those cities up, it's very flexible, and he showed like getting that road was no problem using the sheep.
Robber was pretty harsh this game. Everybody 7'd out 2 to 3 times. Sushant only once, I think, but the others Aesin 2 times. EBOX Kenneth 3 to 4 times, I think.
Yeah, 12 cards for EBOX and Nekthen. So I think that really hurt Nekthen because he was he would have taken road if that 7 hadn't happened, and then he'd have a great shot also.
Anything else that sticks out for you on the resource stats?
Yeah, I think you look at the dice, it's like one of those middle finger distributions, so many 7s, but I don't know. I think
I'm surprised that the 8 was more in the end than the 6. Seemed to me that the 8 started pretty late, but I might be wrong.
yeah. I think there was an 8. The second to last roll, that's what gave Aesin the sheep, and
Yeah.
I don't think Ken could really do much with that wheat because the 4 didn't really hit late, like you said.
Yeah. 3 and 11 were pretty solid, I think. You would expect a bit less, so wood was not really a problem for any players.
Yeah, it's probably the brick was more rare than the wood, because
Yeah,
the one
surprisingly.
time they had it, they had to all throw it out. Do you think we can get a chance to talk to Aesin, or
Yeah, let's maybe switch to the VC channel and see if they
Alright.
want to talk about the game. I mean, we have some time until the Cities and Knights game starts, so why not?
Yeah, sounds good.
Fish for
Yeah,
my
yeah,
game.
good game, Sushant. Good game.
Good game, good game.
No, good
Bye.
game, Sushant. See
Okay,
ya.
Yeah.
see you. Bye.
Cheers. Bye bye.
Hey guys, good game. Congratulations, Aesin.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yep.
Yeah. What are your thoughts about the game? When did you feel that you had a good chance for winning this?
I felt like I had a good chance when when I built that second city, because honestly before that it was looking rough because I just having no ore, so yeah, that made it hard. But yeah, there was like some like I think Sushant was getting a little frustrated with the deals that were being made between Eric and I. So like I had a deal with Eric to him giving me ore for I think a sheep or any card for just not to block him. And I blocked Sushant, and he had 2 ore and a wheat in hand, and I took the wheat unfortunately. But yeah, I gave when Eric gave me that ore, Sushant got frustrated, like him giving me ore so easily, so he gave me the ore to city, and at that point I just needed the rolls to win. Yeah, really.
Yeah, that was definitely a huge point in the mid game, the second city.
Yeah, there was also I mean it's also like I've only pulled one dev and it was a VP, so it's a little like and at the end there was like too much talk, and Nekthen couldn't build a road to take longest road there. So yeah, I got lucky. So that's nice.
Yeah, that
Yeah, well, you
definitely
did
opened the
really
window.
well
Go ahead.
securing all those trades, and I wonder, we were speculating a lot about there were so many 7s at the start. Was there a lot of extorting and negotiating going on there?
Oh yeah, like there was there was so much, especially since Eric rolled a lot of the 7s, and he obviously had a lot of night control, so he would need sheep constantly. But of course, like it would be like sheep for me at least. I'd be like, I'll give you a sheep for ore, sure. Or like if I needed to settle, like I'll give you a sheep for what. So yeah, there was a lot of that.
Did
There
you
was
have an
like there was
agreement
a
about the
point
sheep
where
part, before the game started, or
oh yeah, Eric just said I was like talking out loud. I was like, because after they put their settlements, Eric was trying to tell Nekthen like, oh yeah, the first block will probably be the 5 wheat, and I was just like, whoa, wait, okay, I'll tell you guys what I'm doing, because I think the first block should be the 6 ore, just in like general, unless something else happens. But I didn't want Nekthen to just start blocking the 5 wheat. Uh, but yeah, I might do 5 9 10 8 3 4, and Eric's like, well, if you do that, I'll leave you the sheep port without anything. So I was like, okay, then I'll definitely do that. So it was
Yeah,
Sounds like a good deal.
makes a lot of sense.
yeah, I don't know if he was worried that I was gonna take 9 3 4, but like Nekthen mentioned, like he kept telling me to take 6 3 9, but I wasn't gonna take that. I didn't see but like
Yeah,
wood port's not close. I don't know.
Yeah, we thought it was
think
important
if
to
you
get
have-
the 5 wheat.
Otherwise, Eric's setup is really good, so that makes sense. He secured a port and blocked his best 3-hex spot.
Yeah. So Aesin, you're in the final next week.
Yeah, isn't it both of you guys also there? That's the
That's true. Yeah.
oh no.
Looks like
Oh, no.
everybody's here. Shin's here in the voice chat too. We could play the game now.
Yeah. Make some deals for next week. Yeah, I'm really excited about the game. 3 excellent opponents. I thought you might do very well in this game, Aesin. Yeah.
Before or after my placements?
Your placements looked solid. We were a bit worried about the sheep port, if there was a deal for it. Because if someone wants to go after you, he could do it from the 369. Although especially for EBOX it doesn't really make sense, I guess. Yeah, but otherwise I didn't hate your setup at all.
Yeah, it's really nice play where you didn't settle on the wheat port right away. You decided to start the road network. Thought that was very heads up.
Yeah, there was. I think that might have been the turn where I could have settled or bought a dev and built 2 roads. I'm not sure if that was the.
Yep.
But yeah, there was a lot of knights that have been played, and so I was like, okay, hopefully I get something good. And I got lucky.
All right.
Yeah.
I have no more questions. We will have the Citizen Knights game starting soon. I hope you can join us, Aesin. I know you play some Citizen Knights.
Oh, to commentate? No, I have to go. I would have loved to actually, but I do have to go.
Yeah, well,
Oh,
I think
Shin
we might take
unmuted.
a short break here, and if that's okay
Yep.
with you, Raymond.
Yep, big congrats, Aesin. Enjoy
Thank you.
your win.
Yeah.
Thank you guys.
Congratulations from
Thank
me
you
as
guys
well,
for
and
streaming.
Yeah, see you guys next
Yeah,
week.
thanks.
Genau, kannst du gutes Spiel lesen.
Dankeschön.
Perfect. See you in finals. Now you officially again qualify for TSL, by the way.
Yeah. That's good.
No stress needed. Yeah, pretty good. Nekthen gave you the win, I think, but that's fine.
Yeah, there was a lot of like Nekthen kept asking because I was telling him you have 3 wheat, port your wheat and build a road, but he wanted to make it cheaper with Eric, and they just kept talking and he just ran out of time.
Oh god, poor Nekthen.
Yeah, I got lucky there.
It's okay. Just king me.